open up. You OPN, bitch, you won't be BM. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN,
Hello everybody, it's me Christine, and I am going to talk about my adventures once again on dating apps. So so let's get started. I already primed my face, so let's get started talking about this particular person, because I think this is going to be a two-part, because we'll see, I don't know. So this particular person, I started talking, and we'll just call him Mr. L. So I started talking to him back in February, beginning part of February. I was scrolling through, and I'm not one to be out here in these streets doing the most. So I was scrolling through, minding my business. And on this particular app, you can see who viewed you, and then you can view them back, or go see go see their profile, or maybe you don't know. So let me not say that. Oh my God, I hate when this does this. So this particular guy, he viewed me, and then I was like, he didn't say nothing. But he was cute, so I went and I messaged him, which is very rare, because a lot of times I don't have time for all that. Sometimes you just ain't got time. Oh my God, it was so much right there, and I really didn't need to do that. That's gonna probably go over all over my face. So, needless to say, I viewed him, I hit him up, and he seemed nice enough. Well, actually, he was really nice. And the only reason why I hit him up, because I looked at his profile, and I was like, aesthetically, everything that I like in a guy, even down to his age, perfect. Like, he was perfect to me. At least what I like in a guy. He was it. Like, this was the dude. This was the dude. And okay, so I had to restart this because I was getting flustered and I was getting confused about what happened. So let me go back to him, and I were texting. I asked him a whole bunch of questions about himself. I was asking who he was, and a whole bunch of weird questions that he probably didn't understand why I was asking some of them. But there's a couple reasons why I asked some weird questions, because if you can answer those weird questions without thinking about it, just straight up, you have an answer, that means you're a pretty open person, and I can deal with that. Like, I'm an open book, and I want somebody else that I want to be bothered with as an open book. So back to the time frame, it was February. Him and I were talking, and then I asked him, the question is, when you're in a relationship with somebody, do you spoil them or do they spoil you? And he was like, I spoil them. And I was like, okay, well, let's try something different. How about I take you out to dinner? Which I don't usually offer to take somebody out to dinner either. So that's that's a few things I done did, and I don't do these things normally. So but then I was like, wait, before we go out to dinner, maybe we should meet first, just a casual meeting to make sure everything's gonna be okay. And I let him pick where he wanted to eat, and I looked up the menu, and it wasn't cheap, and I wasn't minding. I mean, hell, it is what it is. If that's where you want to go, that's where you want to go. I'm not fronting. So you when it comes to men, sometimes you gotta just show them that you're willing to do what you get. Because do what you say you're going to do. Because there's a lot of women out there who say they're going to do something and they really don't. But anyways, so it comes to the time that him and I are supposed to meet for the first time. And I say, hey, I'm going to go and... What am I going to do? I'm going to go... That day I said I'm going to go and get my nails done. I was going to get my eyebrows waxed. I miss getting my eyebrows waxed. Because, oh my God, she used to get my eyebrows perfect. And I don't wax my own eyebrows. I don't pluck my own eyebrows because I have no clue what I'm doing. I just know what I want them to look like. And I feel like if I do it myself, I'm just going to mess it up. And then I have to wait till they grow back out. And I am sidetracked. So we go. We make these plans. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to see him. We're going to hang out for a few minutes. And then he's going to be on his way. I'm going to be on my way. So I go get my nails done first. And everything's cool. So then I text him and say, hey, I'm done with my nails. I'm finna go get my eyebrows done. Are you gonna meet me at the mall? And he's like, yeah. So then I get to the mall, and while I'm getting my eyebrows done, I get a text message from him. Sorry, I'm about to poke myself in the eye. I get a text message from him. I didn't know I got the text message. Now, mind you, when I got done with my eyebrows, I had like 20-30 minutes before I was supposed to meet him. So when I got my eyebrows done, I was like, okay. When I was getting them done, I got a text message from him, but I didn't get it right away. I got it like right when I was done getting my eyebrows done. And it said something about some emergency or something. I can't even remember. I don't even have the text message anymore, but family emergency, and he had to do something and he couldn't meet. Sorry, can he get a rain check? And I'm like, okay, family emergency stuff happens. I'm not thinking anything of it. A little disappointed, a little sad, but okay, whatever. First time getting stood up. Or been stood up. So maybe that was like what I was supposed to learn. And he so I text him later on that night like, hey, how you doing? Is everything okay? Nothing. Crickets. And I'm like, okay, maybe the situation's worse then. And he just needs time. So I text him the next day. How are you doing? What are you up to? Are you okay? Nothing. And I'm like, okay, what's really the deal? So then I wait a couple days and I text him again and he still doesn't answer. At this point, I'm like, okay, this is major and this really does suck. Because nobody wants to feel like that. Like, I don't care. Nobody wants to be stood up. Nobody wants to be left on the lurch. Nobody wants to, like, you're trying to get to know somebody and all of a sudden, like, something comes up and you're, like, generally concerned. I'm a concerning person. I just am concerned. And I don't know why my nose is itching, but it just is. And it's not just itching everywhere. It's itching right there. And I'm just concerned. And he still does not answer. And I'm like, okay, well, beat my face too. Doesn't answer. And eventually I just get over it. I stop contacting him. I stop trying to message him. I just stop altogether. I'm like, okay, so obviously this dude is not into you. And if you're wondering what I'm looking at my big mirror. I have a little mirror here and I have a big mirror there. And I'm trying to see if I need to put more foundation on to even out my skin. But so I go back on the app. A little disappointed that I didn't get to meet this dude, but hey, that's just how it is sometimes. So get back on the app. It's really pretty outside. And I don't hear from him. I don't see him. I don't, nothing. And I generally was worried. But like I said, I just go on with life. I meet a couple other dudes, and I'll get into those stories later. So then the quarantine hits, and he pops up on my feed. Now, maybe I shouldn't have said anything to him, because he did the same shit again. He just looked at me on my profile, looked at my profile, didn't say anything. And I was like, oh my God, it's him. I was just excited to know that he was okay. And besides, I'm not gonna lie, he's still good looking. Like, or at least his profile pics are good looking. And I know what you're thinking, oh, he's catfishing you. But they're not like super fine like GQ pictures. They're like everyday, kind of like I'm just a normal guy kind of pictures. And I would admit that I did something to make sure it was him, but and I can guarantee it's him. It really is him. I can't say what I did, but it's him. So I do got verification that those pictures he sent me, when he sent me pictures, and his pictures on his profile, is actually the same guy. So quarantine hits, and me and him message each other every day. We, like, for a month and something, like a month and a half straight, me and him messaged each other every day and talked to each other. And like a couple times he kind of went flaky, but I think that's because he was getting cabin fever, and I can't blame him, because so was I, because I was like losing my mind. But me and him were talking to each other and texting each other, keeping each other company during this time. I wasn't mad. And then he ghosted me again, and I don't even know, this time I don't even know why he ghosted me. There was nothing. I didn't set up a plan to see him. I mean, he was more forceful of like, hey, when are we gonna hang out? And I was kind of like, whenever. Like, I'm a little sidetracked. So we didn't hang out, and then so he ghosted me again, and I was like, damn, what the hell am I doing wrong to this dude? Now, in the meanwhile, that whole month and something, I wasn't on. See, that's where it comes in. You know how I think in my previous video I talked about how I wasn't on there too much. I wasn't on the apps for a while. Well, I wasn't on the apps for a while because I was talking to him all the time. Like, all the time. Like, I was just happy to hear from him in the morning and everything. So I was on there talking to him. Nobody else, just him. I was content. That's needless to say. So what does he do next? He ghosts me. That's where we're at. And I was like, I'm over it this time. I'm not gonna look for him. I just went back on the app trying to find somebody else. I'm like one of those resilient people. Like, I'll just go and find somebody else to play with, I guess. I don't know. And there's another dude that comes into play during this time too, which I will make a video about him maybe. I don't know. But anyways, back to Mr. L. So Mr. L, I'm back on the thing, I'm looking, I'm not really finding anything. I'm talking to a numerous amount of guys, and guess what? He pops up on my feed. Now, this is where I scroll through to try to find new people to meet. He pops up on that, and we will leave it there. Like, that's where the part 2 will come in. But I will just tell you the preview. I clicked his profile. Yes, I did, because I'm a glutton for punishment. So we have an whole nother saga going on with that. Actually, no, because I'm pretty sure it's over now. So needless to say, I'm going to finish this up, and I'll give my final thoughts in a little bit when I'm done. And my hair will be done, and so will the rest of my makeup.